Welcome to Surf Street in Saco. It's not a street anymore. Believe it or not, it wasn't that long ago that there was one, even two-lane vehicle traffic on a paved road where I'm walking right now. This part of Saco, the 2,000 feet along the water at Ferry Beach and Camp Ellis, has been called the most erosive coastline in all of the state of Maine. You can see why. The city spends hundreds of thousands of dollars every year trying to protect the coastline, trying to protect these homes from falling into the water like dozens of homes have done in the past. But these unsightly sand-filled geotubes here, they're really just Band-Aids. Finding a permanent fix brings us back to where this problem started. The installation of the North Breakwater at Camp Ellis 150 years ago cut off the sand supply that would have naturally replenished the beaches immediately to the north of the rock structure. The Army Corps of Engineers admits its jetty is to blame. In recent years, the Corps has invested a lot of time and money in planning projects to fix the problem.
Now this was taken on the 18th.
Residents like Kathy Hardman, who lost her home in a storm a decade ago, are still waiting for action.
I don't understand why it takes so long for them unless they just don't want to do it and they're dragging their feet and no one is thinking about us. And if they lived here, it might be a different story.
It clearly is not at the forefront of their objectives. This one is about a $130,000 project we did.
Saco Public Works Director Patrick Fox is the one in charge of the temporary solutions. He's waiting for a permanent fix too.
We keep looking out 5 years hoping that there'll be federal action and that the larger offshore project that needs to happen with federal dollars will occur. Until it does, we're really just looking 5 years at a time trying to keep our coastline pieced together.
Fox says Saco's troubles with Mother Nature and the federal government could easily be repeated elsewhere.
There is a bigger picture to this. This looks isolated, but if you read the reports on climate change, rising sea levels, more of the Maine coast is going to be dealing with some of the erosion that we're seeing. We're hoping to solve some of those issues before other communities have to deal with them.
The Corps has zeroed in on a plan. The money was allocated but not appropriated. Since then, the price tag has ballooned to about $67 million. That's $27 million for the creation of new rock structures to mitigate the erosion, plus about $40 million to periodically replenish the beach sand over the next 50 years. Even though the Corps admits responsibility for creating the problem, it is asking the city of Saco to share half of the costs of those periodic sand replenishments, $20 million.
That the Army Corps is making their own hurdles and obstacles to get something done that was approved. And enough's enough.
Kevin Roach is the city councilor who represents Camp Ellis and Ferry Beach.
At some point, we got to call this out, and we need the political will to get it done.
The problem is it's very expensive, and the cost keeps going up.
In May, Senator Collins, Senator King, and Congresswoman Pingree sent this letter to the federal budget director to push for a Saco River dredging project. The letter does not mention any project that would permanently fix the problem created by the North Jetty.
I'm determined to try to make something happen, but there are a lot of players involved, and Mother Nature's involved too, and that makes it a complicated problem.
This is something that is very important and that I will continue to press the Army Corps of Engineers on.
Last week, Senator King pressed the Assistant Secretary of the Army for Civil Works nominee about the stalled efforts to fix the problem at Camp Ellis.
I want your commitment to look into this in a very serious way, to meet with me and officials from the city of Saco and see if we can find a creative solution within the existing authorization.
Senator, I am aware of that problem, and I'm aware that it's taken way too long to get to a fix on that problem, and you have my commitment on that.
Residents refuse to give up hope because that means giving up a piece of Maine we may never get back.
I'd like to maintain an optimistic outlook. And I think if they are good people, they will do what they should do. And I'm keeping my fingers crossed.
We made multiple requests to talk to somebody on camera from the Army Corps of Engineers to discuss the Corps' plans for this part of Maine, but the Corps denied our interview requests and repeatedly sent us to its latest report on this area, which is 4.5 years old. In Saco, Paul Merrill, WMTW News 8.